guys, and welcome to the seventh All the Mods 9 progression log. Man, it's been a busy week, so I've got a lot to show you. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna get started. There's not much stuff over in the mechanism area, so I'm not really gonna go bother going over there. However, I did make some changes over here. Instead of having two nitro reactors, we now have 16 because holy shit, let me tell you. The base consumes around 3 million RF per tick. I know a while ago I said that we were probably just going to use power reactors for power. But LUV machines, since we're in LUV, I'll show that later, are ridiculously power hungry. We're talking like 130,000 RF a tick per LUV machine. And I have made some significant changes to ore processing. The full rebuild, well, it's not a full rebuild. It's not entirely done. Uh, but it is pretty freaking fast. So we now have 16 thermal centrifuge multi-blocks here. All of them are running at LUV, so I think this block alone needs like 1.5 million RF per tick or something. It's insane. Because it's 4 RF per EU, so each one of these things is 120,000, give or take. I think it's closer to like 131,000 or something like that. I don't know. It's a lot of power, and we have, 16 of those, 8 of those, 6 of these, and that's just it for now. I do want to mention some stuff about this. So I have two different methods of. This is the original method, was using XNet, and I know that I said I wasn't going to use XNet anymore. And when I first built this, I couldn't figure out how to do it with Laser IO. I'm more familiar with XNet, so I basically built it with XNet, and then realized for this application, XNet isn't actually fast enough. It's not that I can't move enough items, it's that it can't move enough different types of items. I wanted this system to round robin. This is the water one. I wanted this system to round robin from the ore, so it would take 4 at a time, and it would leave 4 in the input bus. So because these are all elite parallel control hatches, which means each one of these things can do up to 4 recipes at once, and I wanted to make sure that it would leave 4 in there at a time of one thing, so it would, always have 4 recipes. Unfortunately, one, XNet doesn't do exact like Laser IO does, and two is it can only do one extraction operation every 5 ticks, which sounds like a lot until you have a bunch of these machines, and then it's not a lot. Like, for this, it's fine in terms of speed. I do need to rebuild this anyway. I was gonna rebuild this, but I wanted to leave this here to show you guys, like, the two different methods I'd done this. Like, now we're using Laser IO. Like, over here we have Laser IO, and I can walk through that a little bit. But the original method was XNet, and it sucked. It just didn't do what I wanted to do. Laser IO is not as good as I would like it to be in different ways. Like, the nice part about this one is it doesn't, put more than 4. However, the problem is it doesn't keep only 4 of one item, so this thing here is stuck doing only 1 recipe at a time, and I have to manually, there we go, fix it, and then it just breaks itself again. So this doesn't really work, unfortunately. The problem with Laser IO is that it will just fill up the input buses. Right now we don't actually have anything to fill up the input buses with, I guess, because yesterday morning when I got on, I've been working from home, so I've just been yeah, so it's been just leaving it up in the background for sometimes. But like, we had 850,000 crushed iron ore like yesterday morning when I got on, and it's all gone, and that was on top of the miners. Like, if we take a look at our ingots, you'll notice we have like 1.6 million ingots, like iron ingots, more than like last video. And one, because we processed all that iron in these, thermocentrifuges and macerators. And then also over here we have some multi-smelters. And how these multi-smelters work is, the reason why I have multiple is you have a minimum number of heat-proof Invar casings in order to form the multi-block, and this is as many input buses as I can get on it. Because I'm also even using the 4 amp IV energy hatches, because we do have those. We got those a while ago. A couple days ago, I think. I don't remember. Anyway, these things use the ME threshold level emitters, and so at 250,000 gold dust, it will start dumping. So these are input buses, and when you disable their working, they will no longer ingest items into themselves, because normally input buses and output buses are active. They'll either pull from an inventory or they'll push from an inventory. Sorry, I'm talking with my hands, that's why I'm not moving. So this threshold will turn off. So this interface still has gold dust here, but at this level, it'll turn off the input bus, so it won't pull anymore. But when it's on, it will just keep ingesting a bunch of gold dust and all kinds of ingots. We've got, that's the output bus. We have iron, gold, nickel, aluminum, copper here, platinum, tin, zinc. That's the output bus. Uh, and we have these ones are not doing anything at the moment. Silver and lead. Uh, so we have all of those ingots, and they're all at some like sort of different levels. It's been entirely arbitrary, just whatever I felt like. But we're also using RTM alloy coils for this, and it's at LUV, so it smelts 2 stacks of ingots in 8 ticks. It also costs $130,000 to run, but you know, who cares? We could just make more nitri reactors if necessary. I'm thinking about switching to the mechanism nuclear reactors actually, since we're gonna need that for progression anyway later on. So I've been looking into that. But yeah, so we have all these multi-smelters, and these smelt all the excess dusts because the dusts were getting a little bit, we were getting a lot of them to the point where I was worrying about it becoming a problem. In terms of like coal dusts and stuff, I actually replaced some drives with 1638 4K drives. I don't. They're supposedly 64 times larger, at least like supposedly 64 times larger than like a 256K. Now, 256K would store 2 million items with one partition. So it might be 128 million items. I don't know. These also include an overflow destruction card in them because if it whatever it is, I don't need more than that. This is one of the largest storage drives in the game. I don't need more coal dust than whatever this is going to be. You know, a lot. So there's a couple of places where I've done that. Um also yeah, but man, this drive, because I also set up a wireless terminal specifically for this drive array, so I can access this anywhere, and it's fantastic. I can search up anything like iron. Let's see, crushed iron ore dust. I had 2 crushed iron ore drives, but I had 2 64Ks and I replaced them with 256K. Um, and we have an iron dust 256K. And then yeah, we blasted through all that iron ore because the difference between the XNet system and this system is this will actually round robin the ores. It'll take different ones, so you won't just latch onto a single ore type because it fills the buffers. It can only refill that type, like it does with this one. Like that was why we blasted through all the iron because it filled the buffers with iron, and it just kept running through it until it ran out of iron. Now it looks like it's I don't even know what. It also, what's nice is this is set to exact, so this will only ever pull exactly 4 at a time, which is nice. So we're always making sure we're using as much parallel as possible. Making we're at max parallel. So you can see all the ores are coming in. We also have I did build 4 elite large miners. They have a 5x5 chunk. This one. This actually wasn't too bad. We do have everything for this, so I built 4 of these things. I don't know if I'm gonna build any more because first off they're extremely power hungry, and second off we have 6 large advanced miners which are 3x3 and 4 large elite miners which are 5x5. So that's like several. It's like 170 chunks or something I think in total worth of mining it at the same time. Um, Oh yes, I think I showed the alloy blast smelter. We can go ahead and actually check the list. This is a good idea. Oh yeah, we'll go ahead and I did sort of finish off the mech machine walls finally, like weeks after. Oh, I also built the oil fountain. It's a terrible fountain because you can't place buckets of oil. Even though this is a fluid, and even if you pick up this fluid with a bucket, it doesn't let you place it. So I had to and it also flows really weirdly. So it was kind of a pain in the ass to get it to fill out this area, but it works. And I don't know, it's not like a great fountain, but it is a fountain, so I'm gonna call it done. um, let's see, anything? Yeah, here we go. We have the mech machine walls more or less finished off. I had to replace XNet again. I think the problems I'm having with XNet has to do with I honestly don't even know. Maybe mechanism. That's the most problems I've had with XNet not working, as specifically mechanism blocks. That being said, though, that entire over here runs awful lot of XNet, and it's not broken down. So I don't know when it decides to break. because I was having some weird issues where the connector over here wasn't working, so I broke it and placed it down, and it cleared this one, and with this one wouldn't fix, so I had to break it and put that one down, and swap these things, and then broke that one. So it was just going down the line, and I was like, fuck it, whatever. I'm just gonna remove XNet instead of like having to replace the entire network. If I'm gonna have to pick up and put down all the connectors and refilter everything, there's no point. Just might as well just swap over to Laser.io. So Laser.io has been a big help. Uh, I really wish XNet worked. I don't know why it doesn't, but it doesn't. So this is the world we live in, I guess. Oh, I also here I can go ahead and. Oh, I mean, I'm all over the place today, guys. I'm so sorry. I woke up real late. We have a advanced fluid rig. This is just so we can process, or we can get oil on passive now. It's light oil, which is not particularly great, but it's still oil, so I've just been leaving it. It's fine. Um, I have a hover on a mouse button now. It's very nice. I haven't overclocked all the EBFs to IV, but I never get around to it anyway, so I just checked it off so I can just take it off my list. Uh, I did check drives, and instead of adding drawers, I actually did something over here. This is actually pretty cool. So all of these drawers here have been replaced with just a couple of drives. So I have two drives in here. I have a couple of drives in here. So we have misc seeds and plants, overflow destruction, plants 2, overflow destruction, useful crops, mob drops, magical materials, and ender pearls. Ender pearls I have separate because we have them on passive, and we had enough of them that when I partitioned them with equal storage, and because there's equal storage, equal distribution cards, which means every single partitioned item in that drive has an equal amount of space, so one won't, block out the others. And with the overflow destruction card, it means if there's any extra that can't fit in the drives, it'll just destroy it. So it's avoiding drawer, basically. So I turned all of those drawers into just a couple of these drives, these 6 drives here. And so these are sort of going to be some drawers that I'm going to be doing instead of, I know drawers technically can hold more items than partition drives significantly. Like 3 netherite upgrades, like here, I'll go ahead and show you. Like redstone, 1.4 billion redstone in a framed compacting drawer. That's a lot. So these things can hold more of a single item, but the drives are like better for stuff you're not going to get like, billions of. So, all of these things. And as well, these things are all overflow destruction too, so if I get any extra, they're just voided because I don't care about any of these things. Yeah, so that's swapped out. I moved all the main drives over here and added a bunch more. So we have all these drives here. We have more of these here. We have more here and even more here. We have just an absolute ton of 64Ks. And I can fill out all of these things here if necessary and even go over to that chunk too. And even stack them. But I legitimately don't even see that happening. I don't even see myself filling out either of these server racks, I guess, or data banks, whatever you want to call them. So yeah, eventually I'm going to swap out these drawers too, but I just haven't gotten around to it because I've been doing other things. I might do it eventually. All our apotheosis gems in here. These are all stored because they're all an individual type, so I don't want them clogging up the drives, so I've just been using storage buses. I think I probably showed this at the very beginning when I set this up, so I'm going to go ahead and move on. Let's see, what else have I... Yep, move IV drive, move general drives to a nice location. IV energy hatch, I've shown that. Oh, I did get indium. Indium is a little bit annoying, but it's not too bad. I can go ahead and show you. You have to mix like purified galena and purified sphalerite? Sphalerite. In a, where are the mixers? Here we go. Yep, we don't have any, sphalerite, unfortunately, here. I think we're completely out. Whoops. Yeah, I have to go put down a miner for that. That sucks. Anyway, yeah, but you just mix it here with some sulfuric acid, and then you just dump it into an LCR over here, I think. It's one of these things. Yeah, indium concentrate with aluminum dust, and then you get indium dust and some aluminium sulfate. It's aluminium when it's GregTech and aluminum when it's not GregTech. They spell it differently. We have these multi-block electrolyzers here, which are super nice, let me tell you. They're pretty fast, can do a lot. They're great. Love them. So I've replaced our electrolyzers with just 2 of these things. Eventually, I might put in 2 more. I don't know. I did sort of take over like the sifting chunk for multi-smelters, but I don't think I'm gonna need more than like one sifter multi-block. We don't really sift that much stuff to begin with, and we can just overclock it, and it'll be fine. Because these things are slow because they're literally MV machines that I've never gotten around to replacing. So if I replace them with like a four with the parallel control hatch, 4 recipe parallel with LUV overclock, it'll be fine. I do need to do that at some point though. Let's see, what else have I done? Showed you that. Build the oil drill, the oil fountain. Oh, I did graphene and stuff. I finally fixed refined obsidian dust in like I think like 2 or 3 episodes. I almost called them episodes. Forgive me. Logs ago, I mentioned you guys saw that refined obsidian dust was broken, and I literally forgot to fix it until like 2 days ago. So that was funny. I actually did finally put down the fluid heater. It's just a basic one. I was gonna put down an EV one, and then I realized there was no EV lines over in the petrochem area, and I didn't really feel like doing that, so I just plonked down the basic one. We still have the EV one, so I can go ahead and just like put it down if I need to, but I don't think we need to. How's our Steam doing? I might need to. So that'll be a problem for later. So I'm gonna go ahead and actually uncheck that. That sucks. Oh well. Processed a bunch of random ores that were in the system, just from other old mining trips and stuff. I took off maintenance lights because maintenance was so incredibly rare. Actually, the first maintenance problem I had was over here in the thermal centrifuge area. Two of these things had shut down due to maintenance problems. And like it was the bottom ones, the ones that have been going for I don't know. They've probably processed like 2 million items or something. Uh, between all of these, we've processed definitely millions of ore between all of these machines. So, maybe you have to process like a certain number of items before it breaks down. I don't know, but it's so rare that I don't really want to spend the time on maintenance lights. Like I did over in the EBF area. We have carbon mesh. Oh, we also have better circuits too. We can make tape now as well, as you guys have seen. All that weird, the tape on the blocks is from the super this stuff. I made this stuff originally not because of maintenance problems, but because whenever you put down a new multi-block with a maintenance hatch, you have to do the maintenance on the maintenance block first. That happens every time you put down a maintenance hatch. It has to be maintained. But I didn't really want to do that because it was really time consuming and annoying, so I just tape them. They're really cheap too, so it's not that big of a problem. Um, we have the final tier of the quantum processors of EV circuits. So those are the cheapest possible EV circuits. We have T2 or T3 IV circuits, T2 LUV circuits, and ZPM circuits are a thing that will happen eventually. Let's see. I don't even remember what you need for it'd be a quantum mainframe. Uh, oh yeah, we can do this at some point. I think I was letting these things build up before I set it up, so I can go ahead and set that up soon. Uh, my first thing is rebuilding the ore washers with laser ion instead. What else have I done? Oh yeah, sulfuric acid with LCRs. When you get large chemical reactors, you get a better sulfuric acid recipe. For example, I can go ahead and show you. Sulfuric acid. So you can make this in just a chemical reactor with sulfuric trioxide, and then you just have to go from to dioxide to trioxide and trioxide to sulfuric acid, or in a large chemical reactor, just sulfur and water, and bam, done. So this is very nice. Um, what else have I done? 256K storage disks. Yeah, we've got Flatline. I threw some upgrades in there. Yeah, I had to replace some benders. We had some LV benders over here. And at the time, I didn't have enough tungsten because let me tell you, tungsten is the #1 resource I keep running out of. It's why the miners have to keep going down time just constantly. You have to constantly keep them rolling. And it's not for anything other than tungsten. It's very small veins and you need so much of it. It's ridiculous. It's really hard to get enough of. So instead of building IV machines, I'm like, well, the benders were working at LV for long enough, so I'll just upgrade them to EV because that's still pretty good, and it's like whatever, right? In a bender at EV, it's 0.35 seconds down from 3, so it's good enough. It's not the best it could possibly be, but it's better. Yep, IV assemblers, we've done that. I did talk about the the large elite miners. Oh, 2 new districts. I have been calling these big 3x3 chunk areas districts. Just that's how I've been keeping track of them. And I have 2 new areas over here. This is for you may have seen on my list. Uh, where was it? Where is it on my list? Here it is. AS line or assembly line. For example, if we want the next tier of parallel control hatches, which we do, because that would make all of our machines effectively 4 times the speed for like no power increase. It'd be fantastic, right? And it's like, oh, ZPM circuit, so we can do this. Niobium titanium, that's a little bit of a push, but it's not too bad. LU machine casings, that's not too bad either. We've got rhodium palladium, we can do that. Guess what? Guess what? This is the real problem. The LUV emitter requires the assembly line, and that's a complex multi-block, very expensive. You need data sticks and stuff. You have to like scan stuff. It's gonna be a significant amount of time before we can get these hatches. Uh, and the other problem is at least in GTNH, you have to set them up in a very specific way where you have to feed them items in a very specific order. And I don't know if that's the case in this version of GregTech, and the quest book doesn't tell me. So I don't think it does, because I feel like they would have mentioned that in the quests if that was, in order to get it to work. Because in the quest book, all they do is just tell you, yeah, go build this thing. You know? Cool. So uh, so I figure it's probably just it's probably not too bad. I really hope, because it's gonna be a pain in the ass. That's why it's called ass line. Um, all right, well that's actually probably about it. I've been rambling for a significant amount of time. I've been all over the place today. I'm deeply apologetic. um, all right. Uh, thanks for watching, guys, and I hope to see you all again next week.